Okay, so if you can just introduce yourself, like where you come from, your age, and what you do now.
Yeah, so hello, my name is Jonathan. I'm from France and I'm 26 years old and I'm now studying in a Senmongakkou in Japan, in Tokyo.
What does if you say like Senmongakkou, what do you, how could you translate this to English exactly?
Maybe in English it will be like a vocational school or maybe technical school. I don't really know the English name, but it's like a 2-year school
Yeah.
that is specialized in a certain thing, and in my case it's IT.
And so how long have you been at the school now for?
I have been for 1 year and a half now.
And it's how long is the course entirely? And
Do you mean like it's 2 years?
okay, two
This
years.
is what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
asking for?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you when do you finish your school?
I finish next year of in March. In March.
I
So
see.
March 2023.
Okay. So I'll just go back to like where you started. So you're 26 now, and then you
Yes.
spent like nearly 2 years. Uh, how how did you get interested into Japan? What was your
Uh,
first experience?
So it started with anime. I think a lot of people
Yeah,
are the same. I started like to watch like Dragon Ball, Naruto, and things like this when I was like 9 years old,
yeah,
and so I liked like the music and everything. So I became more interested in the Japanese culture in general because yeah, I like the music, I like the anime, and I like a lot of things that came from Japan. And my dad went to Japan one time, and when he came back, like he told me how good it was. So yeah, I became even more interested, and by searching things, and yeah, I thought I want to live here.
yeah. I think like most people I talk to, it's something like that. It's like anime is the first kind of thing, and then once you
Yes,
get that, you just start going down like
yeah,
anything you start going into. But if you watched anime in France, was that in like I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was in
yeah.
like really young, and it was all in English. So did you watch it in French? Like how does that work?
Yes, it was in French. Actually, maybe you don't know, but the second most, I don't know how to say in English, but like the country that buys the most manga in the world is obviously Japan, but the second one is France. We have a really big um, anime and manga culture in France. A lot of people, um, when back then in France, I was not born yet, but in TV there was only like Japanese TV show.
Yeah.
So a lot of people got the childhood with like this is Japanese culture things. So now a lot of people like Japan in France. So yeah,
Do they collect the manga in French? Is it translated? Someone
yeah,
translates in French?
translated in French, yeah, and the anime
Wow.
too in French.
That's funny because Goku speaks English when I was a kid. Goku doesn't speak Japanese or French. So, if you watch it in another language, you go, that's not Goku.
Yeah, I see, I see.
Cool, man. So, I think you told me before, before you went to the Senmongakkou, you actually came here to study Japanese, right?
Yeah, that's right. So since I was not like confident in my Japanese level, and since I wanted to live in Japan, I needed to get a good Japanese level. I wanted to be able to like, yeah, be able to work, have friends, and like live in Japan like I would live in any other country. So, when I was in France, I studied by myself a little, like hiragana, katakana, some kanjis, and like space, like watashi no namae wa Jonathan desu ka. These are very basic
Yeah, yeah.
things. And when I came to Japan, so I did 1 year and a half of Japanese language school, and here, yeah, I become more, let's say, I'm not fluent, but yeah,
Yeah.
I can live in Japan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you study your studies are all in Japanese, so I mean
Yes.
you're pretty advanced, I think. And so did you go from that language school straight to the Senmongakkou, or did you go back to France for a while, or did you just go straight like stay in Japan?
So I went directly from my Japanese language school to a Senmongakkou. The reason is when I went to Japan, I was not supposed to go to a Senmongakkou, but I don't know if I should talk about this now or you will
Yeah.
ask me after,
Oh,
but
you can say no. Yeah, you can say
yeah.
no. Yeah.
So I don't have like any university degree or things like this.
Mm,
So in my head, when I was in France, I was like, I will learn by myself, like programming and things like this. I will go to a Japanese language school, I will learn Japanese, and I will get a job. But what happened is like in Japan, to get the working visa,
mm,
you need a university degree. It's not like you can get the working visa without it, but it's unlikely you will get it. Maybe
mm,
I will say random things, but like you have 90% chance of not getting the visa. So since I really want to stay in Japan, I'm trying to put all the chance by my side. So I went to Senmongakkou. The reason is Senmongakkou is not a university, but since it's a Japanese school, you are eligible to the working visa if you are doing one school like this.
mm.
And to get, how to say, to be able to get to go to Senmongakkou, you need the GLPT N2
Yeah.
that I don't have,
Mm.
or you need to have graduated from a language school. That's what I did.
Yeah, because honestly, I think I might fail in two. I had the wrong answer, but I can work in Japanese, right? So it's one of those. Some people have N2, but they can't
Mm.
speak. And then some people don't have N2, they can speak very well. So it's hard to
Yes,
just have
that's true.
N2. It doesn't mean that they can
Yeah.
work.
Especially like Chinese people, they can understand almost all kanjis, so
Yeah,
they understand the meaning of the text and the words, but they are like unable to talk.
yeah.
There is a lot of people like this, even in my class. To say
Oh,
truth to you,
really?
there is Chinese people that like I don't know how they are here today, but
But so you how did you learn? How did you research this? Was there some community in France that was saying, "Oh, you can try this," or did you just have to just Google search and find some
to say
Reddit
truth to you,
post?
I never heard about like Senmongakkou
Yeah.
before coming to Japan. It was my school that was like asking to people, yeah, what want you to do after the language school?
Mm,
So I was like, yeah, I want to work. But yeah, the other people like I want to go to university, and other wanted to go to Senmongakkou. So I was like, no, I want to work, I want to work. And how to say, yeah, and I was in LinkedIn, and one guy um called me, and
yeah.
a French guy, and like we got we got a conversation, and we was like similar in a way.
Mm,
I didn't got university degree, he didn't got university degree, and this guy was working in Japan. So I asked him, how did you do that? And he
mm,
told me, I went in a working holiday visa, and I got a job. And at the end of my working holiday visa, they couldn't renew my visa
mm.
because I didn't got the university degree. He made a 2-year school like I did in France, because I didn't say it before, but I did a 2-year school in France. And so when he told me
Oh,
that, I
sorry,
was like,
that just a second. That
yes,
2-year course in France,
yeah.
you can't use it in Japan, right?
I can't,
There's no way
because
for visa.
they only want like university degree.
Okay.
So in France it's 3 years. I think in America it's 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you don't have this, it's like you have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you have the job, maybe the Japanese government will not give you the visa. So that's
Yeah.
the problem I understood this day, because this guy got the job. He worked here for like 6 months or more,
Yeah.
and even if this company wanted him to stay, he
Yeah.
couldn't get the visa.
Yeah.
So he managed to stay because he married a Japanese person and everything. But when
Yeah.
he told me that, I understand. No, I need to go to a Senmongakkou, because even if I have a job, I will unlikely get the visa. So that's why I'm in a Senmongakkou today.
Then how's that Senmongakkou going? You're there. You're nearly there for 2 years now. Um, did you is there a large selection for you to select? Like, is there many Senmongakkou for IT, or is it only a few around?
No, there is a lot actually. There
Yeah.
is a lot.
So why did
But
you
there
choose
is
that one then? Why did you choose the one now Yeah.
So every school is different, so there is different criteria. Uh, there is a money,
Yeah.
there is a location, localization. There is also how they are, I would say, accepting foreigners or
Mm.
only like Japanese people, and how many places they have. I don't know if this English is correct, but like
Yeah.
if they can only have 25% in a year, I know
Mm.
my chance will be very low to get accepted when there is by my side
Yeah.
Japanese people that can speak Japanese perfectly and everything. So I choose this school because I mean it was close to my house. This is
Mm.
just how to say, I didn't choose it because of this, but yeah, it's just lucky.
Mm.
I choose it because it was not too expensive
Mm.
and because I knew I could get to this school with my Japanese level that I was not really confident
Mm.
in. Because other school that required, like I said before, like N2,
Yeah.
um, I know I couldn't pass the screening. Like,
Mm.
and the reason I didn't apply to a lot is because they all ask you to pay like nimanen, so like
Mm.
$200
Yeah.
to apply, just to apply. So if you fail, and I mean if you apply to five of them, like you already spent
Yeah.
1,000. So I couldn't afford to apply to a lot. So I
And
just took
you're a student, right? That time you don't have
yes,
like
yes.
a lot of money to waste. So
Yeah, so I didn't got the money. Like I maybe got the money to apply to two, you know. So I just took the one I knew I would, how to say, I would be oh, I forgot in English.
accepted into or something
Accepted,
that
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The one I
yeah.
would be accepted in. There was others that looked way better, but
Yeah.
I think I couldn't get it. Like
Oh.
when I went to the I would say the open campus of the schools, there was like Chinese people and other people. So I stay in contact with these people, and some applied to the school, and like
Mm.
almost all of them couldn't make it. So I'm like,
Is
hopefully,
that for sorry, is that for the language or the IT part? Is it or both?
is most about the Japanese part because
Oh.
I was really surprised. Like when I went like to open campus of the schools, I went to like three or four,
Mm.
and every time I went, they asked someone already programmed or tried, yeah, to do some programs and things like this, and I was always the only one. So I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's really strange because like in France, everyone that is interested in like programming will at least try to do something by themselves.
Yeah.
So I really thought this was strange in my opinion, but yeah, so that was not about the IT part, it was more about Japanese level.
I see. And then so let me think. Is that transition like let's go I just want to go back to when you were a student. When you came to Japan as a student, was that is that difficult for people to do from France? How does that process work?
Oh, so actually that's not hard. The hardest part is to get the money because um, for working visa you need like 3,000 euros in your account, I think something like
Yeah.
that. But to do a Japanese language school, they ask you to have like 15,000 euros on your account because they want you to be able to how to say, yeah, to study without worrying too much about your money. That's
Yeah.
what they say. So I just can give you a tip.
Yeah.
I didn't got this money.
Yeah.
So what I did, they want just a screen of your bank account with the money.
Yeah.
So what I did, I just asked, like my father gave me money, I
Yeah.
took the screen, and that's all. And I know other people that did this way, so this
This is
work.
a
If you don't,
trick. This is
yeah,
a trick everyone
if you
uses.
if you don't have the like the 15,000 they ask you, you can do this trick. But yeah, the school, I don't remember the price very well, but it was like maybe 7,000 euros a year. So if you are a student in Japan, you have the right to work 28 hours uh, per week.
Yeah.
So if you can like save money to pay the school, uh, and when you are in Japan, you can work at the same time. I think
It's
anyone
doable.
can
Yeah.
can make it. Before coming to Japan, I worked 1 year to save money,
Yeah.
and after this time, I could yeah afford to go to Japan. But yeah, that's not like a working visa where you have like more free, how to say, freedom. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
come with 3,000 and you can
Yeah.
just have your baito if you want and
Yeah.
don't need to pay a school beside. But yeah, if you go in a student visa, yeah, you need to think about paying the school and yeah, having this part job at the same
So
time.
so then if let's say the school is like 7,000 per year, how does that work? So you apply and they go, yes, you can come. Then you have to get
Um,
the money. Like, is there a like what's the actual order? Do you have to give them
okay.
the 7,000 straight away or
Say truth to you, I don't remember very well, but
yeah,
it was like I passed by a company called Gogonihon. I think maybe you heard about it,
yes.
or so they help you to make all the papers and everything to go to Japan. So what they asked me, it was more like all my informations and after you choose a school, like they do the application for you, and after you can choose. I'm not really sure. I don't remember very well. It was like already like almost 4 years before. Um, they ask you, yeah, to pay. When they already have all the information and like the school is okay to take you, you need to pay the school, and then the school will send you the COE.
Yeah.
This is the thing that will give you the visa. So yeah, you need to pay the school, but I don't think I paid in one time at this moment. I think it was in two times. I don't really remember very well.
So I'm trying to think. So a lot of most young guys in France probably don't have 15,000 or 7,000, but maybe they can get it slowly, right? Like maybe their parents
Yes,
can pay like twice a year, a few thousand. So that must be possible, right? That kind of
yes, that's possible. Yeah.
gradually payment. Okay.
Yes. So you can pay in some school in two times or maybe more. In
Yeah.
mine, I don't remember if it was maybe two or three times. I don't really remember very well. My actual school is two times.
Yeah.
But I know there is other people in my class that have like difficulty with money, so they
Mm,
are paying little by little school, not these
cool.
two times.
So that just there's an option for people with not so much money. So I think that's a good thing.
Yes,
And then, so now you're at the Senmongakkou. So from a student, the student visa remains the same, right? When you go from you're studying Japanese to Senmongakkou, it doesn't change, right? The status, you're just the student
the
visa.
status is the same. Yeah, I
Okay.
just you need to make a new card because you need to renew the length of it, but you are exactly the same status. Yeah, student visa.
And then just about your school now, what's your experience from it? It's an IT or is it IT and business and what
Yeah,
is that?
that's
What do you learn?
so this is more like IT business. So I just want to say something before.
Oh yeah,
To be able to be how to say, to be eligible to working visa with a Senmongakko degree, you need to work in the field you studied.
yeah,
So you can't like do I don't know pastry and work in IT after. You will
yeah.
not get the working visa. So my school is IT business. So I'm eligible to work in IT and like in business.
Mm.
So I'm learning at the school IT things like programmings and things like accounting and marketing and things like this too.
So it's a real big range of knowledge, a real big range of studying.
Yes. So yeah, about the school, I learned in France programming before and everything, but yeah, say truth to you, I don't think the classes are very good. I don't know if it's like this in Japan or my school especially, but I think you will learn way more by yourself. And actually, everything I'm learning at school, I already learned it before. the accounting part I learned it in high school, programming part by myself and my um, school in France. So I'm really doing this to be eligible for the working visa. Maybe there is better school, and that's not maybe, that's 100% sure there is better schools than mine. But yeah, I will not really count on the what we'll learn here. Do
Yeah.
this to get like an experience of like, yeah, speaking Japanese, reading Japanese, um, and be eligible for the visa more than really learning something, I think.
Yeah. And so you have to learn, you do learn by yourself these days, or like, how to use Vue or React or Node.js,
Yeah,
whatever. Is that something you
yeah,
do in your spare time?
yeah. Recently, I'm learning like React, and next time I will want to learn Next.js.
Yeah.
Learning like Node.js and things like this, the new like modern technologies.
Yeah.
Because in my school, no, we are like learning like Java,
Yeah.
HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but like with no frameworks
Yeah.
and things like this, so very basic programmings. So yeah, in Japan, I think you can get a job like this because like
Yeah.
there-
You can. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it.
yeah, but since we are like foreigners, and I mean my Japanese is not as good as a Japanese person and
Mm.
things like this, I need to have other strengths. So I need to
Yeah.
have like my skills better than Japanese people to be able to compensate my Japanese level.
Yeah.
So
My
that's
my
why
my not advice, but the way I think of it, because I didn't have the greatest skills, and I had even worse Japanese like 6 years ago. But I just thought, and I always say this, it's a bit like cheat, but just if they like you, if you just make them like you, then you'll have a better chance. Like it's not good, but I think that's how a lot of business works. Like, oh, this guy, I like him. I don't know why, but let's hire him.
yeah, I think you're right,
Yeah,
because I feel like in Japan, when they hire, I don't know like I mean about mid position and senior position
yeah,
or thing like this, but in entry grades they think like you know nothing. So
yeah,
it's like the most important thing is like to, I think, to, yes, if they like you
yeah, yeah,
more than your capability to do things, because they expect you to know nothing and they will form you at the job. It's not like the same mentality in Western, like in France, you're supposed to be already operational when you
yeah.
start a job. So yes, it's a different way of doing things.
Absolutely. And just about, so now, let's say for example, there's a French guy out there and he wants to do this. He saved up for the costs, or he got a screenshot of the bank account. It's all done, and then he paid the school. What is your experience from like the cost of living as a student? And you're kind of near Tokyo, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm in Tokyo. Yeah.
yeah, you're right in the middle of Tokyo, kind of. So how much what's a realistic cost, do you think, for like besides the student fees, like just like
Yeah.
rent and food and that? What do you think is a realistic cost, and how do you make that money as a student?
Okay.
That's
So
true, yeah.
like I said before, you have the right of 28 hours of work.
Yeah.
So you can have a part-time job um, and work to get this money. So there is also other way to get money, but this is like I don't know how to say in English, but paying in black, like in cash. So yeah, they can see because they have all the data.
Yeah.
I just want to say this a little different. I would say I'm saying other thing, but when you renew your visa, they are asking to screenshot everything on your bank account, all the
Yeah.
transaction you did. So if you making more money that you how to say you're supposed to make and
Yeah.
things like this, they will see everything. So you can't cheat on this. So yeah, if you I know guys on my class that are working like I don't know how it's in English, but like when you have like a job, it's like only one time, and so
Oh
he
yeah, in Japanese, what is it called in Japanese? Is it
is maybe Haken.
Hakken? Yeah,
Haken
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So he's doing this, so he will like get like 200 euros for working one night and things like
yeah.
this. Euros, yeah.
Around 200 euros. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So and this is like not in his bank account.
That's
So
all
and
cash in hand, right? Cash in hand,
yes,
and
yes, yes.
yeah,
So with that, he's working like a normal baito at the same
yeah,
time. You can do one thing to boost your money is to work at night.
yeah.
So you must be able to sacrifice, I would say, like social life and things like this, because you will work at night and sleep the day, and maybe the school will it will be harder to follow class and things like this. But yeah, if money is tight, you can do this. Like I think it's like 25% more money if you work at night, things like this.
So in your case, you work part-time job, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
So
that's your like main income to eat and pay your rent. So is it doable as a like a guy by himself or girl to work a baito in Tokyo and pay for rent and like eat normal food, like not just
yes,
cup ramen?
yes.
So yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So that's totally possible. Now, I
because
don't care.
sorry, just the
Yeah.
reason I'm saying this is you can't do this in Auckland City. This is like crazy.
I
No one can afford it. And maybe same as Paris. Like you can't work 28 hours and pay for your own apartment,
Yeah,
maybe, right? And
yeah, yeah, I think you're right. I think
yeah,
in France it will be hard to do this
yeah.
because in France, like food and everything is kind of expensive. So yeah,
So maybe I'll
so
ask the direct then, like how much can you make as a baito, and then how much would your rent be in your case?
okay, so I will tell you. I work at McDonald's now.
Yeah,
It's like one of the cheapest how to say salary you can get from a baito. So it's like 1050 yen I get for 1 hour.
yeah.
Also baito will give you more, like 1200, 1100. It's not a lot more, but that's more. So y- with that, if I work 28 hours a week, usually I was getting like 12,000, not 12,000,
1,200
100 to
Junimang.
20,000. Yeah,
Yeah,
journeyman. A little more than,
120,000.
yeah,
120,000
a
yen a
little
month.
more than journeyman.
Yeah,
So my rent now is like lokuman, so six.
600,
I
600.
forgot my
Yeah,
English. Yeah, 600. So that's half of
yeah,
the rent.
yeah.
So after I have like we say internet, phone, water, electricity, everything, I would
Like
say one more,
Nanahachi.
one man and
Yeah,
more. So we go to 7, and then with after this I have like let's say, this is like, yeah, the money for the school, and after the money to live, like to buy everything I
the
want,
leftover, the
or
leftover, the money is just like food and whatever, right? Like this, you
yes,
can't
yes, yes.
really, you can't go on a holiday or anything. Like
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
pretty
why
tight. It's real tight.
yeah, I have been in Japan for now 3 years, but yeah, I almost didn't visit anything.
Oh, that
Bec
sucks, man. But
Yeah,
I know, I
because
know, I know, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't have money or time, so
But you know the funny
so
thing, your rent is the same price as mine, but I'm
oh
engineer
really?
for 7 years. I'm such a cheap guy. Like I don't want to, they're so expensive, like rent, like Nijuman rent for like a tower mansion or something. But I think the interesting part that people can see is that you can like live cheaply and still, study, or it's
Yeah.
totally, totally possible.
And I'm not living cheap. That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
say. Like, I mean, I think I'm still buying things I like, and
yeah,
I mean, I'm not. I'm eating food like I
yeah,
want. I'm not like, yeah, so that's okay.
possible.
When I
Mm.
came, my Japanese was really bad, so I knew I couldn't get a baito and things like this. So at this moment, I was like, yeah, eating like a lot of fries,
Yeah,
and yeah, yeah, I was saving money. But now, since I have the job and everything is okay, I'm more like buying things
awesome.
I like, so that's
So I'll
okay.
just go maybe to the last part now is kind of how is your job search going now, and how do you feel about this? Because you're starting to apply for jobs. How's your
Yes.
experience so far?
So the first thing I thought was really strange is like Japanese people start to apply really soon. Like
Yeah.
when they start the last year of the school, so for me the second year on university is 4 years, they already start to apply. So a lot of company we start to let's say to hire at this moment. Now we are like in November. There is already company hiring for 2024. So about my mm, how it's going for me, I started only to apply like 3 weeks ago. So I'm still kind of new. I got some interviews this week. One went well, I think, and I did one yesterday. I didn't really like the company and things like this, so yeah, I didn't want to really continue about it. But I think if you're a foreigner, you can search for companies that are more like foreigner friendly. And even companies that speak English, but the companies that speak English are more like companies that will need people that with experience.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't have experience, so it's more
Yeah.
like Japanese company. So I looked for like the foreigner friendly ones and I applied to them.
Yeah. And then so do you think just that for the end here, is there like some real you already taught us a lot of tips and stuff, but is there something you really learned a lot in the last like 3 years about if I did it, I should do this differently maybe, or like how could someone speed run what you're doing? Like just
I
go
see.
the quickest way.
So the quickest way will be um, to relearn Japanese because
Yeah.
I'm not really serious in school,
Yeah.
and that's my biggest regret because I went 1 year and a half in school and I don't have N2,
Yeah.
but a lot of my classmates at this moment already have N2 and some even N1. So I think be able to speak Japanese, and if you don't have any experience and things like this, like we said before, they don't really look your skills and things like this for your first job. So if you are able to speak r- Japanese very well, I think you can get the job quite easily. Like having N2 will like open maybe 80% of the door to you, in my opinion. I think so. Yeah, learning Japanese is maybe the most important part, and I regret to not have learned more back then.
I regret
Because
too, man. I've been like over 10 years. I should have got an N2 like straight away. Like, and I think so many things would have changed.
I have a friend, he got like N2 in 7 months. I was like, man,
Wow.
that's crazy. But this guy was like studying all day, all day. He was only doing this, but that's amazing. In 7 months getting
Yeah.
N2, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
almost doing only Enki. I don't know if you know Enki.
Or like
This
singing
is
and dancing kind of,
no.
no? What's that? Uh,
Anki. That's like a software that with flashcards.
oh,
So you have
Anki.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
my accent was bad.
No, no.
But yeah, he was almost doing only this. Like he was doing like 200 card a day or something like this. He told me he was crazy, but he made it.
Oh, good for him. That's
and
awesome.
he got a scholarship to. He's American, so he got a scholarship to study in a university in Japan. He told me like it was cheaper to live in Japan for like 5 years than going to university in America.
That's the part, right? Like I think
Yeah,
like even maybe France to go to university for 3 years, there might be
but
a
in
cheap
France it's
option.
free, so
Oh, damn. Okay. That's easier. That's the easiest one, maybe.
yeah. But yeah, he's American, so for him it was like cheaper to go
Yeah.
to live in Japan, and he got the scholarship. So he literally he told me they are giving him money to study, so that's good for him, you know.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Well, I think, yeah, I think that's it for today. I don't know if there's anything, is there anything else you want to say quickly? Or I think that's, we covered quite a few things.
I think we said everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, but thanks for joining us and telling us your story. And it's really nice to see that there are other people out there trying to do their own way because there's no real easy method, right? There's no one writing down, you do
Yeah.
this, do this, do this, and you can get it. So yeah,
Yes.
thanks for sharing your information, and we'll keep in touch. And maybe if there's some Japanese companies, they can connect with you somehow, maybe.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye
See you
bye.
soon. Maybe a drink up in Tokyo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
So see you
Thanks.
next time. Bye
See you.
bye.
Bye. But I didn't know you work at McDonald's. It's like, oh damn, you have to like speak Japanese only then.
To be honest, there is a lot of
Yeah.
people that almost can't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
I mean, if you work in the kitchen, you
Yeah.
almost don't need to speak Japanese. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you are like in front, you need to speak with the client. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, in backside there is people that almost can't speak at all.
Mm.
So yeah, that's why I went to McDonald's, because my Japanese. I already work in McDonald's in France, and
Yeah.
my Japanese was okay for McDonald's, so I went here.